All right, hello everyone, and now welcome to game number 2 in a series between Yumiko and 3. And I gotta say that game number 1 just seemed like a practice game for Yumiko. Yumiko playing every which way correctly, able to manage his units, able to minimize damage, able to know when to retreat, when to push, when to force pressure, and when to just really come back over the top. Even though the final score did not show that large of a difference, I really felt like Yumiko had his foot on the gas and was able to control the entire pacing of that game. And all the Night Elf could really do was stand back, watch, and hope that he could pick off a handful of units. All right, let's take a look at what's going to be happening here in game number 2. Altar of Elders already down. Didn't catch the hero in time, but it is going to be a panda. That's the reason why I didn't see it. It's going to be a panda first. And I do believe that Yumiko is not going to be fazed by this. Yumiko in the previous game was able to scout out very, very early on to figure out what was happening here. And now you can take a look at that. This is just not what you want to be seeing when you're trying to do an Ancient of War creep. The Ancient of War just far too far away. The Rock Golem getting in 2 additional boulders already. As you can take a look, the Wisp are now finally being brought over to do some repairing, as now the Rock Golem firing another bolt or another block over there at that archer. That archer very, very much in trouble, down to 5 hit points. Needs to be very careful there, as we see Drunken Brawler as the very first ability. All right, so right now, double down from the panda. He really needs to get to level 2. Otherwise, the swarm of footmen are still going to be coming in very, very fast. You can see Troll Shadow Priest is right there. Maybe an Abolish Magic would be perfect, as the panda needs to finish off that unit. He does not get the experience, but he gets the gold. So that was a final hit by the Ancient of War. And right now, all I can say is that this is just an absolute beating, as Yumiko is easily going to be able to handle this, taking down that Ancient of War. Archers do not want to break Shadow Meld. As you can take a look, the Archmage will now be able to run away. And as bad of a situation we saw earlier in game number 1, the Night Elf has opened himself up to an even worse situation here in game number 2. Troll Shadow Priest, Archers, Troll Berserker down off over here. The Panda now going to perhaps try and engage. Archmage going to be picking up Boots of the Speed and already off to the races. Already selling that Rune Bracers, knowing that, hey, you know what? The Archmage is not going to be doing that much magical damage to me. What am I even trying to do this for? As the Footmen are now going to be running straight inside the Night Elf base. All right, if you guys like massacres, this is probably it. And against an experienced player like Yumiko, you cannot try and make something up on the spot, and that's really what it felt like the Night Elf player was doing. He was trying to do some sort of trick play, opening up with Panda first, but unable to really start creeping with that Panda effectively. Ended up losing Archers, and now this Footman domination that we saw in game number 1 is going to repeat itself, at least until the Panda gets to level 2. Now, level 2 on that Panda there, Militia are going to perhaps try and clear down the Troll Trapper situation off over here. Meanwhile, back off to the north, Panda has not used Breath of Fire as of yet. Could easily turn around and get a good cone of fire across all of those units in the back. Meanwhile, across over here, we may see Gloves of Haste picked up by that Panda. Wait, Panda has not even yet used that level 2 Breath of Fire. All right, so there you go. You can see the Panda now may be able to engage off over here, perhaps even losing another Ancient of War. This would be extremely, extremely dangerous at this point, as the Panda now looking to back off. All right, we are teching the tier 2. An expansion is not underway, as the Archmage will be able to press forward with a Tavern Hero if he decided to do so. All right, let's take a look at this. Panda now still sitting at level 2, Tree of Ages about to be completed, as an Ancient of War, the second one this game, will end up falling. All right, Troll Berserker, Troll Shadow Priest now looking to finish off the rest of this creep camp here. And we're going to take a look at the Archmage now making their way up. So double Troll Shadow Priest. The only thing really going for the Night Elf right now is that those Troll Shadow Priest do have Abolish Magic, which means Water Elemental should end up falling relatively quickly. Meanwhile, we are getting an Ancient of Lore, Ancient of Wonders quickly taken down. Breath of Fire not even used yet. What is going on? Why go for Panda if you are not going to go Breath of Fire? All right, Yumiko adding a little bit of insult to injury, going for the Goblin Alchemist as the second hero, being able to put down that pressure a little bit faster. Are we going to perhaps see Healing Spray, a perfect counter to that Breath of Fire? And that's exactly what we see right there. Healing Spray countering the Breath of Fire, making it completely moot at this point. As you can take a look, that Alchemist has plenty of mana, plenty of damage as well, 28 to 55, something that you would normally see on an agility-based hero, making that Goblin Alchemist that strong. Wisp now being brought over in order to detonate, remove some of the precious mana there, as we see another detonation come in. All right, we are now down to 14 supply over 50, as Yumiko looks like he's going to finish off this Night Elf with little to no problem whatsoever. A for effort and A for trying to execute a new strategy, but right now that Panda just not paying off at all, as I don't see any production buildings for the Night Elf. Night Elf without production buildings, unable to train a single unit, will be stuck at 14 over 50 or 24 over 50 supply for a little bit longer. It looks as though where is that additional unit being trained from? Is it down? No, I don't see anything being trained anywhere across the map. Panda now doing his best job to just try and push back the other way. Priest, Rifleman, all right here, and you can take a look. The Ogre Mauler and just all of the mercenaries that are being hired in order to counteract the fact that there is no Ancient of Wars, or really the Ancient of Lores just now being finished. All right, Panda looks to engage again. There's going to be another Breath of Fire Archmage. Now looking to pull all the way back here. You can see a handful of Riflemen. The Riflemen do have that long-range rifle upgrade, 600 range as opposed to 400. As the Panda now comes across with another Breath of Fire, I got to imagine a Healing Spray or a Scroll of Regeneration will be used momentarily. All right. Militia being added, casters being added as well, riflemen being trained up. We should be very close to 50 supply, 54 over 66 compared to 28 over 50. And at this point right now, I believe Yumiko can just sit back and relax just a bit, take this opportunity, perhaps get to level 4 on the Archmage. Level 2 Brilliant Aura would be extremely helpful, as well as you can see the creeps and the mercenaries now trying to join in on the fight to win this battle themselves. Not going to be able to get very far either, as the Alchemist now has plenty of mana with a Wand of Mana Stealing. Archmage getting close to 300 mana. Alchemist will get close to 200 mana by the time we have that next fight here, as the Panda now considers its options. It really needed Drunken Haze and Breath of Fire in order to finish off a lot of those units. I'm surprised Drunken Haze was not Drunken Haze was not used, as it does cause units to miss and attack a little bit slower, I believe. Now let's go ahead and come back across over here. Footmen now doing a very, very strong chase. Ogre Magi taking a bit of damage. You can see the Footmen do have Defend, as we are going to be engaging across over here. Archmage could easily just clear out this creep camp now and get to level 4, which would pretty much cement any sort of dealings here. Yumiko also picking up a potion of invulnerability, full 15 seconds of frontline action without having to worry at all. There you have it. Goblin Alchemist once more doing that Healing Spray and removing some of the workload off of Yumiko's Priest. All right, in comes this push. Alchemist still in that front line. Footman still with Defend. It doesn't look like much is going to be happening here. Up there's a Healing Spray again. More units once again going to be repaired or healed again, as the Alchemist is still looking to engage across back over here. Rifleman able to easily finish off that one building there. Guard towers or arcane towers could be constructed here in just a moment. Footmen are looking to just continue this pressure once more, as the Panda, now very, very low on hit points, will be forced to retreat. All right, Panda still looking to engage Footman with Defend, as the Rifleman with that medium armor doing a great job staying alive and will be able to continue to do so. The Panda actually does get healed by the healing spray as well, but not going to be able to do very much, and there is the GG. Yumiko taking this series 2-0 with very convincing wins. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hope you guys enjoyed this series.